Welcome to the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast, where we raise our voices and honor the badass achievements of women in the service industry. Get ready for empowering conversations, inspiring stories, and a whole lot of ass-kicking energy. Join us as we redefine what it means to be bold, fearless, and unapologetically YOU, babe. This is your platform, your community, and your source of inspiration. So buckle up, get ready to rock and roll, and let's show this world just how much we can accomplish. Welcome to the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast. Ladies, I am so excited to just welcome you to 2024. Holy shit, can you believe it's 2024 already? I can't even believe. What happened to 2023? Did anybody else feel like that was just a blur? It was so crazy. Lauren, who works in my pumping office, would always say, it's already Christmas. I remember back in like April, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? And here we are. It's just absolutely incredible. So welcome to a new year, and welcome to Ladies Kickin Ass if you've just found us. I'm so incredibly excited to let you in on a few things I've been working on for this community and just talk about how I'm kind of starting this year. And I hope that you'll be able to draw some inspiration from that and be able to implement some of the stuff into your personal life, into your business life. Because although we talk about Ladies Kickin Ass, it's not just about business all the time. There's a lot of parts of us, and there's kicking ass at being a mom if you're a mom. There's kicking ass at being a partner if you have a partner. There's kicking ass at being a friend or a family member, or just kicking ass for yourself. So I want to touch on a few things that involve all of those facets of your business today. And if you've known me at all for any period of length of time, I am that person that picks a word of the year. I do this for my business. I do this for myself. I started thinking about this in like October of like, okay, this is where we were this year. Like, where are we going into this new year? Like, how does what we're working on this year feed into next year's? So last year, my word was stronger. And stronger for that, for me personally, meant stronger mindset, stronger motivation, stronger systems and processes, trying to build stronger relationships, trying to build stronger teams at my business. Yes, I use the same word in my personal life and my business life because I can't have more than one. I got to focus. So if you struggle with focusing, definitely pick one and then figure out how you can make that fit into both your business and personal life. But even with my business, it was building stronger teams. We have one person on our team that we started with at the beginning of the year last year. We have completely revamped our team, and I couldn't be more confident in the fact of saying that we have the right people in the right seat right now, and I'm so incredibly excited for this new year to start. This year, coming into it, I want to figure out a word that would help elevate stronger, that would help build on top of stronger. Stronger for me was we had a hell of a boat built, both our family and with our business, but there was some serious holes in it, and that shit was leaking water like crazy. And that wasn't just like money coming out, although that was something that we dealt with this year too, but it was just like morale. And there was some bad seeds, and there was some mismanagement of things. And so it was really about like patching the holes of where we saw them at and continuing to build off of now a even stronger foundation. I feel like a lot of times people that are just getting into business, or maybe people that have been in business for 2 or 3, 4 years, they're like, I shouldn't have these problems anymore. And I'm here to tell you, sister, the problems never go away. You just have to skill up to be able to handle the new problems that come with an elevated level of your business. And that's really where I found myself last year. Was I've never run a business this big and at this pace and with so many moving parts before. So I got to skill up to be able to do that. And what I learned in doing the research, going to the masterminds, reading the books, listening to the podcasts that I have this last year, thousands of hours of stuff I have consumed, is really how do I bring value to my life? How do I bring value to my business? And so this year, my word of the year is value. How can I bring value to my friendships? How can I bring value as a mother to my children? How can I bring value to my husband? How can I bring value to my team? How can I be valuable to myself? And that's where I want to start. Because I think many times we put ourselves at the bottom of this list when we're looking at our word, and we need to be at the top. And many of you are maybe smacking your forehead saying, oh, I can't be first. I got to take care of everyone else first, and my team, and my business, and my kids, and my husband. And that is bullshit. Because I'm going to tell you from experience, if you are pouring from an empty cup, or you are so damn stressed out because you've got all this other stuff going on, and you're not taking care of yourself, no one wants you to be around. You're letting everybody down. This is something that has been very difficult for me to grasp because I am a huge people pleaser and I want to make everybody happy all the time. And in an effort of doing that, I realize how many people I've let down. And not intentionally, but because I overbooked myself. Because I had too much on my plate. Because I promised to show up somewhere, or I suggested helping someone, or I took on a task, or I signed up to volunteer at school, or I did this or did this when I knew I didn't have the time to do it. I ran myself dry. And then I was letting everybody down because they were counting on me. So being valuable to me, providing value this year, is setting boundaries with what I am capable of doing. What does that look like? So what I'm going to do first and foremost is make sure that I'm not taking on tasks that I don't need to. I'm really going to adopt the theory of, does this bring value into my life or my business? If it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. I cannot volunteer for things because I feel like I should. I can't do things for people because I should. I can't be shoulding all over myself. And yes, I said shouldn't, but it's really like shitting all over yourself because you let yourself down, you commit to something that you didn't want to do, and then you're resentful about it until the damn thing's over, or you end up canceling at the last minute. We don't want to be that woman. We don't want to be that lady. So what I'm going to do this year is draw some firm boundaries on what it is that I'm actually going to do. One of those things in bringing value is being very clear and communicative with my family and my team about what my priorities are for myself. What does that look like? So for me, I really plan to show up in a big new way for this Ladies Kickin' Ass community in 2024. I have some really great things planned, and I'm super excited to implement them, and I'm so excited to meet more of you in person. So we're going to be doing a lot more in-person events, a retreat later on in the year. I'm just super excited about where the membership will take us. And I am definitely reserving a day in the week that's what I do, is I just focus on my Ladies Kickin' Ass community. Now, this is not another job for me. This community is truly a passion project for me. And this is a way that I am fueling my soul, because being able to talk to all of you and network with you and build a strong community of women is something I have needed in my life for a really long time. And if you don't have that, I welcome you. And even if you just don't join my community, you find one that you can join and be active in it. Something I've done in the previous year is that I committed to too many things. I committed to too many communities. I committed to going to too many events and things that I knew I didn't have the time for. I'm not going to do that this year. I'm focusing. I am in Brenda Burchard's Ultra Mastermind, which is feeding my business and personal soul. And I'm also giving back in this community of women that I can't wait to grow businesses with, because we're working side by side in the service industry doing so. So being able to do that is so big. I think a lot of times when we think about helping ourselves or putting ourselves first, we're thinking, oh, well, then that means I have to go get my hair done or my nails done, or I have to be, taking time to just do meditation and all these things. No, write down what fuels your soul and be relentless in the pursuit of creating time for you to do that. I'm not a meditator. I do love some breath work here and there, but I'm not a meditator. Nothing fuels my soul like talking to you, interviewing incredible women, and sharing their stories. So with that, I'm going to work on getting my coffee table book out this year that will feature so many of the incredible women that have been on this podcast. Everyday women doing kick-ass shit and showing the world of girls coming up what is possible. I'm so excited and I'm so passionate about that. I almost get emotional talking about it because I know this needs to come out in the world right now. I have teenage girls, and if you have teenage girls, you also know that they need this more than ever. Find something that fuels your soul and do that. Make time for that. There's no excuses. There's not if I have time. People don't ever get rich saving money with what's left over. They create wealth because that's their number one priority, and it comes off the top, not the bottom. Stop making time for yourself come off the bottom. Make it come off the top. Next, my family is incredibly important to me. Yes, the family comes before the business. So how can I be valuable? How can I show up and provide value to my family? I know one of the number one things I have to focus on up front and foremost is being present with my kids and being present with my husband. And what does that look like? Not sitting on the couch next to them, scrolling on a phone. Not having them just sit behind me on this cute little couch that I actually bought just so my kids would quit laying on the floor because they love to be in my office with me because I'm always on my computer. My big goal I just wrote on my vision board this afternoon was to spend more time reading with my kids at night. I'm really passionate about teaching my kids about finances and financial well-being and what that looks like to them because that education needs to come from us. And that education is not readily available to children. It's not something they're teaching in schools. And I wish I would have known as a teenager what I'm learning now at 41. Yes, I'm still learning this at 41. But I want to spend more time with my kids talking to them about that stuff. I want to read adventure books with them. I want to go on a new adventure every month with my family that we haven't done before. And this doesn't have to be out of town. This doesn't have to be this huge expensive thing. Like, it would be super fun to go like paintballing or something with them. It would be super fun to go to like, on the topic of painting, maybe like one of those where you go like, paint mugs or like do a canvas or something. Maybe it's something where we go take a cooking class together. Maybe it is something that we drive up to the woods and we get a VRBO for the weekend and we just go have fun in an area where none of us have ever stayed before. But definitely planning all of that out so that we're not waiting for opportunities to arise. We're actually making space for them to happen. Because if you wait, at the end of this year, you're going to look back at what you said you were going to do, and because you didn't plan it, none of it happened. And the year went by, and it's going to be Christmas again. And you're going to be like, shit, I wanted to take my kids on adventures. I wanted to go on this trip with my husband. We didn't plan it, so it didn't happen. I know planning can be like the most unsexy thing on earth, but nothing is sexier to me than someone that has a calendar that actually signifies what their life looks like. If you see somebody that is completely just in reaction mode all the time, and you were to look at their calendar, you'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense. We don't want to be like that. And also, don't keep yourself exposed to picking up everybody's shit that didn't decide to plan in the first place. That is not your job. That is not your monkey, as I tell my kids all the time. Their failure to plan does not constitute an emergency on your behalf. And the more we set boundaries with that, the more those people that like to use and abuse that situation will realize you're not their fallback guy or gal. They're going to have to figure it out. And hopefully, they'll learn to start planning for those things and living a proactive life instead of a reactive life. If you look back on 2023 and you feel like your hair was on fire and you were reactive as fuck the entire year, I'm raising my hand if you're listening to this because I know that I make myself available to clean up other people's messes that don't plan shit. Figure something else out. Draw a boundary. Don't let it happen this year. That is one of my big goals too, with being valuable to myself and providing values to others, is letting them know what my limitations are, because you can't be everything to everybody. And if you're a recovering people pleaser like I am, something you're always going to be recovering from, I think, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no, period. There's no excuse that you have to have. Take care of your well-being. Don't let your calendar go to shit because someone else decided not to make one. Also, set expectations. I'm really going to start implementing in my family on Sundays that we have a family meeting. The kids are getting older now, so they know what's going on in their weeks. What do you have going on this week, Aisley? What's going on at high school? Is there anything you need a certain ride to? Is there maybe a half day or something going on that I need to be aware of that I maybe missed on the calendar? But sitting down with a family calendar and figuring things out will help you not live in that chaos. It'll help bring peace back to your family. Go over that with your husband. Touch on a few little things. You can really get all of this stuff done in as little as 30 minutes. And then it eliminates the chaos of the morning of saying, oh shit, who's picking up the kids today? Because we didn't talk about the fact that we both have meetings at the same time. If you found yourself in that chaos and you're just dying for peace like I am, that is something that you have to implement. And I think a lot of times as women, if you're in a married or a partnership situation, you think, well, why don't they come? Why don't they say something about this? Why don't they do this? It might not be important to them, but it is important to you. And so if they are going to incorporate you into their lives, then they need to have this conversation with you. If this is something that maybe your partner's not into at all, it's just a matter of letting them know what your week looks like. And if they don't want to share theirs with you, just know that you're not available for them. Somewhere you have to draw a boundary. And I know that sounds harsh, but if you're consistently just following after someone because they're failing to plan, it's not going to be good for the relationship, no matter who it is. Your kids, your spouse, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever it is, a friend. It's not going to be good for the relationship because you're going to start getting really pissed off at that person. Be clear. I think to be clear is to be kind. And to communicate is to be kind. When people don't communicate, they assume. And we all know what that means. Ass out of me and you. And we don't want that to happen in our lives in 2024. We want to be productive. We don't want to just be busy. Being busy is not a badge of honor. Getting shit done that you can measure, that's where the magic is. How am I going to implement the word value at work? How am I going to make that my work word of the year? Oh, so many different ways. So many different ways. One, value is what we sell. We don't sell a service, we sell a value. And I think when you start believing that, you'll sell a hell of a lot more of what you're selling. Why? Because if you believe in the product that you are selling, if you believe in the service that you are selling, if you believe in the value you're going to give to the customer when you get there, it's a no-brainer. They can feel the confidence in your body. People like to buy from confident people. Do you ever have somebody try to sell you something and you're like, shit, I better buy that now because I feel like I'm going to miss out? You get the whole FOMO because that person was so convicted about what that service or product was. Be that for your business. Hire people that believe that about your business. Because if you hire someone that is going to communicate with customers that doesn't believe in the value you provide at the service price that you're charging, they will fuck you. And what I mean by that is they will not book calls because people will know that they are hesitant about giving a price. Don't believe me? I've been through this for the last year. And if someone that is working in your business is spending money out of their own pocket to buy the service that they're trying to sell your customer and they can't afford it, they're not going to be great at selling that to that customer. Fully believe in the service that you're giving and train your people that are talking to your customers to also believe in the value in which you're giving to them. Find a way to stand out from your competition in the home service industry, for sure, in a way to deliver value that others aren't. Do you need some examples? Here's some really simple ones. Call around to your competitors and see how they answer the phone. Most of them are like, hello. I can't tell you how many septic companies I call and they literally answer the phone, hello. And they sound like they're on a tractor somewhere. Because they are. Because they didn't hire somebody to answer their phones in their office and to have a nice presentation together and follow up with electronic communication. They're writing in a notebook while they're out digging the trench for the septic system. Don't believe me? It happens all the time. Or you call the office and they're like, Joe's Plumbing. Like, why the hell are you calling me? There's a huge difference between, hi, thank you for calling Priority Pumping. How can I help you today? Versus Joe's Plumbing. See the difference? It's really in just adding value to things. If someone calls and maybe they don't book something with you, have a little something that you can send to them. Thank you so much for calling and considering our company today. I just wanted to follow up with the Septic 411 guide that teaches you how to best maintain your septic system. I hope you'll think about us in the future for future services if they end up telling you no. It's a follow-up. You're putting them in your pipeline now. It wasn't just a phone call that came in that got lost. It's a lead. And even if they don't come back now, they may come back 6 months from now. They may come back after the cheaper guy came out and did a shitty job. They'll call you because you were so nice and you sent over the digital whatever that you have prepared. Think about ways that you can extend value. Do a follow-up call after a service technician's been out or after you've rendered a service. How did you feel about it? Are there things we could change? You can send out surveys to people. You can always automate asking for reviews to build your brand and also get honest feedback. Don't block it that they can't leave 1-star reviews. Those used to really hurt my heart because it was almost like somebody was like telling you, your employee sucks or your service sucks. That's not what it is at all. It's genuine feedback. Maybe we were late. Maybe we didn't communicate that we were running late. Shit happens on service jobs, but we didn't follow through. This is an improvement and a coaching opportunity for my team. This is why we don't want this to happen. Feedback through reviews is so genuine. And I'm sorry, but as a service business provider and as a service consumer, I will look at all the reviews. How did people respond to them? What were people consistently irritated about? Was it just the service? Was it that they were running late? Was it the communication? Because you will find patterns if you're getting a lot of these reviews coming in. Lots of times service companies are like, I don't want to ask for reviews because I don't want bad ones. Bad feedback is like failure. It's feedback. It's not final. It's something that we have to have in our life. And yeah, it sucks. It really fucking sucks when somebody says, that sucked. But it gives you something to grow from. If you're consistently A+ all the time, where are you improving? Why the hell would you have a need to? Every business always needs to be improved in different areas all the time. There's new people coming in, there's new processes, there's new software, there's new service that you could do, there's price increase, there's this, there's that, there's so much stuff all the time. Constantly be aware of the feedback that people send back to you. It's valuable. See, I did it again. There's lots of ways that you can incorporate value into your business and into your personal life. And if value is not a good word for you, I would love to hear what word you've picked if this is a practice that you follow. And if it's something that you've never done before, I would highly encourage you to try it. Just try it. And write that word in plenty of places where you will see it all the time. Put it on the background of your screen. Make a cute little thing in Canva or even in like your Word document thing. You could type it up and screenshot it and save it as your wallpaper on your phone. Statistics show we pick up our phone over 300 times a day, so odds are you'll see it at some point. Make it the screensaver on the back of your computer where you work. Stick it as a Post-it note onto your screen. Consider putting that up in your office as like a framed print. I have in my office out in the hallway, it says 2024 goals, and then there's a really nice picture frame, and every year we swap it out with what our word is and what that word means. And then next to it are 2 boards that everyone puts their goals on for the year. And it's so cool to be able to monitor the things in which people are surrounding themselves around the word of the year and how they've based their goals on that and the accountability that that actually brings to a team. So that's a really cool thing to do. Something I'm really going to incorporate this year in my family too, when my stepkids get back, is I want to sit down and do vision boards with everybody. I went to an event today with Wildish Women. If you haven't checked them out before, definitely do so. It's a great group of women. But we sat around, there was like 8 of us there, and we just talked about what our goals are for the year and things that we're struggling with and being really honest and helping each other out. Because there's nothing like supportive women. And it was so incredibly cool to sit down and put together a vision board of things that I want to work on, something I can look at all the time. And it might be helpful to do a couple of them. Sit down with your kids and see the things that they want to work on so that you can help them, so that you can help encourage them. Do it with your spouse or your partner and see what they're working on. What are their goals for this year and how can you support them with that? And then I'm going to make a really cool little spot. I have a spot upstairs in my loft in my house where I'm going to get like just some cute little cheap frames and we're going to frame them and we're going to put them up there. And then it's something that our family gets to look at every single day. So everyone's looking at their goals. Because if you're in a family, then you definitely want to be supporting each other because you know that you want the support for yours. So how can you best support them? I think it's a really cool thing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do with the kids and see what things that they come up with. A suggestion might be just taking the printer out so it's sitting out there on the table, and then you and your partner, splitting up the kids if you've got a slew of them like we do, and asking them things that they want to print out, things that they want to add to their vision board for the year. And I think it's just a really cool thing to bring the family together and be able to work on things together. And what a cool practice. Can you imagine like your parents sitting down with you and like, I don't know if you're from my generation, actually giving a shit about what your goals were as a child. Where I grew up, it was pretty much like be seen, not heard type of sitch. And I've tried really hard not to be that parent to my children. So imagine what it would be like if they were in a consistent practice of setting goals every year, of making a vision board every year, and that there were people that were championing them to achieve those goals that they had on their vision board. I think it would be super, super awesome. I'm going to keep checking in with you. I'll post pictures after we do this. I'm so excited to see from 15 to 7 what these kids come up with. So don't forget to incorporate your kids in your goals for the year because they're a huge part of it. And many times as working women and moms, they can also be a huge distraction that we allow to happen in achieving the goals that we want to achieve. And you might realize by doing this that you might have something in common with your kids. Maybe they want to read more. Maybe they want to read a book series. And this is something that you can do together. So I'm really, really excited for this new year. If you can't tell, I'm just like bubbly as hell because I just came back from this awesome vision board planning event, and I just had to jump on and record this podcast because I just really, really, really think that choosing a word and focusing on building something that you can look at every single day that reminds you what you're working for this year is so huge. I hate the word resolution because resolution means it's like that's the ends to a means. Like, I'm resolving this, I'm doing this. And I really would love to look at it as like growth goals. What are things that are going to help me grow this year? What are things that are going to make me be in a better place next year than I am right now? Because there's nothing scarier than waking up every single year on January 1 saying, fuck, I'm in the same spot. I'm still dealing with the same shitty relationship. I'm still broke. I still want to start that business. I still want to build this team. I still want to finish this book. I still want. Stop shooting all over yourself and start doing the things that you want to do. Thanks for being part of the Ladies Kickin' Ass community. Cheers to all you badass women out there. Keep rocking your power, igniting your fire, and making waves in the service industry. If you loved today's episode, please do me a quick favor. Take a screenshot, post it, and tag us at Ladies Kickin' Ass. Be sure to include the link to your favorite episode. Your support in spreading the word means the world to us as we aim to empower even more women. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more kick-ass episodes. And don't forget, a 5-star review is the ultimate high five. Connect with us on social media. All the links are in the show notes. Thank you for being part of our tribe. Now go kick some serious ass, lady.